Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We link up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
It's going down. It's going down on this magnificent Monday. It is Monday. It is Monday. And we're excited to be here. I am your host, Crisette Ellis, and you're listening to You Got It. Thank you, Jalen. We got issues with the force of friendship on the only station, 9:10 a.m., the Superstation WFDF, based out of Detroit, but it is heard all over the world. And we're excited to be here on this magnificent Monday. It is Monday, and I'm excited to be here with my girlfriends. Sabrina Goodwin Monday is in the house, and Gloria Mayfield Banks is in the house. And our girlfriend, you know, our girl, Caterina Harris Earl, she is in the air, flying all the way back from Jamaica. She and Anthony had a fabulous time in Jamaica at a wonderful wedding. And I know that she's coming back nice and brown and toasted, looking good, having that sun-drenched skin. And so, of course,
her braids.
If the airline would let her, she would be on the show in the air. But we are absolutely missing Caterina on today. But it is Monday, you guys, and we're excited to be here with you on today. We're going to be talking about what we're talking about, because when I tell you, it's a lot to talk about. And we absolutely need Caterina Harris Earl, because when I tell you, our chat be lit up. She know all the tea. She sees everything that's going on. But we're going to try to get to today without Caterina. But it's a lot going on. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. Let me just tell you a little bit about mine and a thought to the girlfriends, you guys. We attended the Universal Circus on this past Thursday. It was actually on the Thursday night. And it was a tremendous show of athleticism, of showmanship. And I would tell you guys what I love about the Universal Circus. I've been to it many times, but it's just wonderful to see people of color just doing amazing things in the circus. You know, I grew up going to the circus. I grew up taking my children to the circus. And, you know, there were every now and again, you would see a person of color. But for the most part, there was not a lot of people of color in the circus. And, you know, I can remember this one time we took the kids to the circus. And, you know, at halftime, they would have the big elephants, and the kids could go and they could ride on the elephants. And we had let Buddy go down, and he had a chance to ride on the elephant. And when we came back, you know, all of the different acts. So I asked Buddy, I said, well, Buddy, you know, who are you? Are you the ringmaster? Are you the guy flipping in the air? Buddy turned around and looked at us, and he said, no, I'm the elephant. That's when I knew that boy was going to do some great things, because he saw himself as the elephant. But I just think it is so empowering when our children can see people in a variety of places and industries that look like them. And it was just so wonderful to see all of the children that was there. Their faces were lit up. And I mean, they were hanging on to everything. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, you know, culturally, we are different. And it's okay to say that, because we are different. And I'm going to tell you, from the music to the beats to
Right.
the movement to the songs that were played, literally, it absolutely, I'm just going to say, it's the Black Circus, y'all. It is the Black Circus. And I'm going to tell you, it's a Black circus, but it was done in excellence. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Universe Soul Circus. If they ever come in your town, you want to do that. And I would even encourage, other ethnicities, Caucasians, to go and check it out, because, I just think it's really good when our children can be well-rounded and know that, there's absolutely nothing wrong. And we'll talk about that later with seeing a Black Santa Claus. Okay. It's okay to have a Black Santa Claus. So I just thought, again, that was awesome. And then lastly, they recognized many of the first ladies in the city of Detroit. So that was very nice that they thought about us, because many times it's about the pastor, and they, recognize the pastors, which is fine. But this time they recognized the first ladies. And so I was recognized along with several other first ladies in the Detroit metropolitan area. And it was so much fun. You guys, all day I was laughing. I said, now listen, they recognize the first ladies. I hope they don't get us up there and ask us to twerk, because I have not taken twerk lessons. Okay. Because that right there would not have been pretty. Okay. And I mean, when I say they laughed so hard, it's like, no, first ladies, don't worry about it. We know that twerking is not in your lane. And so again, it was an amazing night of just seeing all of these performers do what they did. I mean, many times we were like sitting on our seat, holding our breath, because the acts were just that, to me, dangerous that they were doing, but it was phenomenal. So that was my weekend, and that was one of the days of my week, and it was absolutely awesome. So I'm looking at Sabrina and Gloria. And Sabrina, you guys, those of you that are listening, if you're not watching, Sabrina got a whole lot of hair on her head. Oh my goodness, she got those
worked it out.
Oh, okay. I have not seen, maybe when I met Sabrina umpteen years ago, her hair was this long. But when I tell you, baby, she is rocking a full head of hair. So Sabrina, talk to us. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh my goodness, Crisette, just trying to do this natural hair situation, let this perm grow out between the braids. And it's a lot to handle. I can't wait to go back to the braids in a few days. I don't know if I can make it till next week, but it's a learning lesson. It is a learning lesson. And your hair is definitely thicker, fuller, more lush when you don't have the chemicals in it, but it's a lot to manage. And Kenny's like, I love it. I haven't seen it that long. Like, he wants to run his fingers through it, okay? And he's like, I love your hair. I love your hair. Braid it back up so we can grow some more. And I'm looking at him like, whatever. Whatever. So we had a great weekend. Went to Jersey, New York area this weekend to watch Quincy wrestle. Got to see Sydney. It's just so good being on the East Coast when we can get close to everybody and see everybody in a 3-hour car ride. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Gloria, you're looking well in your polka dots. What's going on in the DMV, sister?
I mean, for real, I am the born one. Short hair, ain't nothing new. Oh my God, seriously, y'all, seriously. I put on a wig. I even flat ironed it and everything, and I put it on.
You didn't.
Today. I said, okay, today's the day. No, it ain't today. It ain't today. It just ain't today, y'all. We got to do a show. Every week we got to do a show on hair so I can get with the program, because I'm like so proud. Look at y'all's hair. Y'all hair is growing long and fabulous. I mean, you can go this way and it moves, and this way and it moves. Me, it don't move no matter what I
And it looks fabulous. It looks fabulous.
Then Catrina's down there in Jamaica. Sabrina's out there in New Jersey. Crisette's with the circus. Nothing over here in the Banks area, but that's okay. But you guys, Thursday, I hooked up with a phenomenal woman here in the Baltimore area who did a branding photo shoot with me. And it was just so awesome to see us in our element. The photographer was awesome. She was awesome, really kind, totally energetic person. And then today I got the the magazine from Howard University, you guys. Seriously, these HBCUs, I know we're going to talk some more about HBCUs, but this HBCU right here, Howard University, my alma mater, you know, they talked about there are now 10 women deans at Howard University, which is huge, you guys. It's so huge. And when the president got there 10 years ago, there was one woman dean. Now there's the woman, she's doing a dean of social work. She's the dean of communications, which is the Kathy Hughes School of Communication. There's a woman that's the dean of the law school. A woman, Chadwick Boseman, College of Fine Arts dean is Felicia Richard. You guys, this woman who's dean of dentistry, there's a woman who's dean of medicine, the woman who's dean of nursing and health sciences, there's a woman who's dean of the School of Divinity. There's the woman who's school of Howard's School of Education, and the one who's head of the permanent dean of the graduate school. And when you read these accolades, it will blow your mind. And so, Chris, when you were talking about, you know, that we get to see ourselves in so many different areas of our lives, and to open up something and see such incredible women with such powerful responsibilities at a time like this. And some of them, you guys, one woman, she's the first one to graduate from her school. I mean, from college, period. She's the first one in her family to have college education. From her family. And then one from her family, thank you. And one's grandfather was the first college student in the state of Texas. Her grandfather was the first black college student in the state of Texas. I mean, the history is just outrageous, and the picture is just
gorgeous.
It was just, y'all, gorgeous. It was just amazing. So I'm fired up. Ready to talk about all this stuff we're going to talk about today. We're here to talk today. Talk Radio 910 for real. Oh, one more thing.
Absolutely.
You tell Kenny to keep his hands out your hair until February 2nd, until we get together with the
okay.
Talk about the real relationship. Tell him I said, get back. Save it for the radio.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about some hot topics that are in the news. You would have to be under a rock if you haven't been following all of these things in the news, from the power grid outage to the Senate runoff to the volcano in Hawaii. Just so much is going on. So we want you to stay tuned. You're listening to We Got Issues on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We'll be right back after this break. We are back. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. That's where we are. And when I tell you there are some hot topics that we want to cover a few of. So let's talk about Good Morning America, GMA3. OMG. So callers, we want you to give us a call and let us know what you think about some of these issues. We love your comments. You can give us a call at 313-778-7600. Again, that's 313-778-7600. We're talking about hot topics in the news today and even talking about some of the things that you may not know. So it broke. The anchors, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, you guys, they found out that they were having a secret love affair. And just the other day, they were taken off of the air following the report of their romantic relationship. Now, according to GMA, they didn't know anything about it. And it actually was broken by the story was broken by another news outlet. And when it was brought to them, they knew nothing of it. And then when it was verified that it was true, their first response was that both of them had not broken any policy with GMA. But of course, you know how that is with all the scuttlebutt and all of, the conversations that transpired afterwards. Their producer rethought it and said it was probably for their brand best to take them off the air for a while. So does that mean that they're going to be fired? Not sure. I think they're just kind of considering all of their options, especially if they did not break a rule. So girlfriends, what do you think about that? I mean, let me just say this, and then Sabrina, Gloria, you guys chime in. One of the things that I heard, and this is really a great conversation leading up to our event that's coming, and you're going to hear a lot about this coming up. I believe it's February the 2nd. Is that correct? February the 2nd, sponsored by 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We absolutely are going to be giving you guys information about the 100 years of relationship and marriage that we have if you combine all the years that we've been married. But I remember years ago on vacation, I heard Dr. Oz say, not Dr. Oz, I'm sorry, that's not who Phil. It was, but I heard Phil. Someone say that when it comes to affairs, 99% of the time it's going to be with somebody that the person know, whether it is somebody that works with them, the secretary, the girlfriend, the sister. Is always somebody that you know. It's never somebody they met in the bar. That might be a one night stand, but typically it is someone that they have established a relationship with. So Sabrina, what you think about this?
Yeah, it's interesting because last week when it was so much chatter, they came on the air just like it was no big deal. And I was like, well, I guess the station is okay with all that's going on. But it did kind of strike me as odd that they would just continue to go on. And they were kind of joking about it. Like TJ was like, oh, this has been a week. I want this week to go on and on and on. And he laughed about it. And she was like, speak for yourself. Yeah, speak for yourself. And I just don't think it's funny when they're broke homes and hurt hearts. Obviously, it's just nothing to play with. Life is fragile. Life is serious. And so I didn't like that fodder and that attitude about it, like it was a joke. And so I think the station, but the day I heard that the station had yanked them off the set, I had to take a thought. I had to ask myself, they didn't law. What was the purpose for them taking them off the air? Because they are two grown adults. And they had said that it wasn't against company policy last week.
Right.
So I don't know what changed. As I read a research, they said that they just said it was a distraction. It was a distraction for their viewers. It was a distraction for people who worked at the station. So they thought, I think it's a cooling off period. Now, if we ever see them back on, I don't think they'll lose their jobs, but I don't know if they'll be on the set together. Because in our minds, we're always going to be looking like, how's he looking at her? How's she look? Did you see how he touched her? So that's a distraction. Just give me the news. I don't want to be looking to see how you guys looked at each other. So I was surprised that after a few days, now the company ABC decided to yank them. But I think it sends a strong message. I think it sends a strong message that we take family values seriously. We respect families. And this takes me back to the long with her saying the Celtics, Boston Celtics coach, that the Celtics organization, they still have not said one word to her.
Right.
And I just think that's wrong. She's got these children. She's left out in the cold. And the least the company could do is say, we see you, we care. And so anyway, that's where I am. I don't know, Glo, what about you?
You know, it's so interesting that you bring up Nia Long, because I was reading about that. Now she has that brand new movie that she has coming out with Eddie Murphy.
Right.
But now she's going to be all over, because she was real quiet for a long time. And now she's out there. So we're going to have to watch this. There's another reason that I was so interested in this thing with TJ is because there's a woman who's president of that brand, of the Good Morning America brand. Her name is Kim Godwin. And she said that it wasn't illegal, but because of the protection of the brand, they had to remove them for a minute. And she did not say forever. But I also want to say that I wonder what would happen if there was a man that was president. And I wonder what would have happened if some of the circumstances would change, whether something would have got done, whether it was going to be taken care of that way, whether the brand would have been that important. You know, it's just so many interesting components to this particular situation, so many components to it and how they're handling it. You know, you can't ignore the racial piece of it, a white woman, a black man. You can't ignore that piece of it. You can't ignore who they're protecting or how they're protecting. You can't ignore their flippant attitude. I think you're right, Sabrina, the flippant attitude about, you know, just ignoring the fact that, you know, there's a large community that take marriage very serious, and for you know, you to treat it like that. And it's not just about, you know, treat people the way you'd like to be treated. And that was a very flippant attitude that they had. And that it wasn't well thought out. It wasn't well dealt with between the two of them, how they're going to bring it to the forefront. But I do really admire the fact that the president said, I got to watch out for the brand. I got to watch out for the brand. And she didn't hide it behind a woman or a man. She just said, I got to watch out for the brand. And I don't know what's going to happen, but it was a very big statement. Just to watch out for the brand was a very big statement about what Good Morning America cannot do legally, but they can do it what they want to. You got to always remember who's in charge. That was a big deal. Big deal.
Wow. Yeah, a big deal. And I wonder, you know, what their co-anchors were thinking and feeling. I know, you know, of course, you know, when things like that happen, there are a lot of rumors and whispers in the hallway. And I agree, you know, a big distraction. And let's be clear, I don't care how good you are and, you know, how, you know, your ratings are. They're going to protect the brand as they should. So that's totally understandable. And so, you know, that was a very smart move on their part, because you're absolutely right, Sabrina. We absolutely would be looking for any innuendos, any long glare, or whatever the case may be. So good thing that they are protecting the brand, and we'll see what happens in the days to come. Well, you guys, tomorrow is the day the Senate runoff between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Now, you know, I've been watching the news, and it has been huge turnouts. I mean, people have been standing in the line for hours to cast their vote. And so just listening to the different pundits on different stations, you know, there are those who believe that a huge turnout is in Raphael Warnock's favor, but many of them are saying it's still going to be very close. And it's just so interesting that, and I guess, yeah, I'm going to use the word interesting, that it is so close when you consider, you know, a Raphael Warnock against a Herschel Walker. Why on God's green earth would it be that close? So what are you guys thinking about that?
Well, number one, it's really bad that it's so close. It's really sad it's so close. To me, it tells me there's a higher priority for power than it is for brilliance when it comes to running the nation. And they're willing to, it's so obvious to me. It's just so obvious to so many people that the choices are so completely different. How can a choice be that so completely different be so close unless you change your priorities?
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come off of this break. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. We'll be right back after this break. All right, we are back. We are back. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship, and we're talking hot topics in the news. And so I want to talk about, just for a few minutes, we were talking before the break about the upcoming runoff election in Atlanta, Georgia, between Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican candidate Herschel Walker. So, Gloria, go ahead and finish your statement. And then Sabrina, chime in and tell us what you're thinking about that.
Well, I have to say that Eric on Facebook said we should have minimum standards for the Senate and for the House. That's a shame that we have to go to that place where we have to have minimum standards, because that's exactly what we feel is absent right here, is that there's no standard. And, you know, this is such a big change, because it used to be those political offices were held by such powerful people of esteem. Even if you didn't agree with what they were going for, you always appreciated their intelligence. You always appreciated their fortitude. You always appreciated what they had to do to get there. And now that's no longer the case. The one who can run the most money behind the right candidate with the right people that come in town to cheer for them is a big piece. It's just listening to that conversation, and then to see how blatantly we have taken to the circumstance of just trying to split the African-American vote, and how we're going about it in so many different ways. It's really sad to see the money, the tremendous amount of money that is being spent on this election, when it could have done so many powerful things for so many people who are in need, particularly this time of the year. So I got a lot of problems with what's going on in Georgia. I just know that we all have to get out the vote. The vote has got to go out. It's got to go out. Now, I hate the fact that it could be hindered a little bit with the weather, but I hope not. Sabrina, what do you think?
Well, yeah,
I go to you, Sabrina, hold your thought real quickly. I want to get this caller in, and then we'll come right back to you.
Okay.
Larry, are you there?
If I were there in Georgia, my convictions will prevent me from voting for Warnock. And the reason why is that how can one be a minister of the gospel and back issues such as same-sex marriage, abortion, the way that they're dealing with this illegal immigration? You know, if I was there in Georgia, I would look out for those issues that affect Georgia. And Warnock being a Baptist pastor or pastor of a church, a congregation, and he has no conflict with that, I would question that. And because of my morals, I could not support someone that favored those types of viewpoints. And that's what I feel that a lot of Georgians are faced with today in dealing with Warnock and Walker. Walker had his... I'm sorry.
So I was going to ask you, Larry, and I hear you with, and that's totally fine. You know, those are your beliefs, and you believe that, and you can't vote for someone who goes against your beliefs. So talk to us about how you feel about Herschel Walker.
Well, ma'am, first of all, I feel about Herschel Walker. I believe that they're really over exaggerating what his mental capacity happens to be. And when you think about it, as bad as Herschel Walker is and how he performs in the different interviews and debates and whatnot, how then is it still he has a marginal margin of victory to say over Warnock with all the credentials that Warnock has? Why is the race so close? And I feel that it's so close. They're not going on the mindset of Herschel Walker. Even though I believe that it's being they're just going out of the way to make the man sound like a buffoon. You know, but at the same time, they're not focusing on the bread and butter issues, which most people in Georgia are currently faced with. They understand what the Biden administration has done. They understand that Warnock has been there, and he's done absolutely nothing for Georgia. So now it's come down to Herschel Walker and Warnock, and I'm afraid that Walker's going to lose. Thank you, ladies, for taking my call.
You're welcome. All right, Sabrina, thank you, Larry, for calling in and sharing
with us today. And Sabrina, I could tell that look on your face. talk to us a little bit about.
He said did he say he prays that Walker loses or Warnock loses? I'm unclear.
Oh, no. I just think I think at the end he said, of course his whole point was that he could not support Warnock because, he's against abortion and he's against the immigration and same-sex marriages. Right. And one of the things that I would have asked him, and he got off the phone a little bit quick, was he said that he thinks they're overstating how Herschel Walker, they're maybe underestimating him. I don't think that they are. I think what you see is what you get. I think that he's even said he's not the smartest or the brightest. And so, that was a lot to unpack. And so, I mean, do you choose someone that you may not support their political beliefs, or on the other hand, do you support someone that is just not up for the job? So what do you think about that, Sabrina?
Well, I think a lot about it. I am asking I got Georgia on my mind. Can't sleep. I'm thinking about tomorrow. Where are we going to be when those polls close tomorrow? It is critical. It is crucial that Georgia gets out the vote. I'm excited that record numbers have already voted prior to tomorrow. So that's a good thing. And my goodness, you vote your beliefs for sure, but to me, I really would like to visit with him a little more, because he says that we're making him out to be what he's not, Herschel Walker. No, right. He's kind of shown us, when people show you who they are, you best believe them. And so he's shown us. And so is that what you want? And he made the point that obviously the race being so close, people are believing in him as the talent, as the elected official. I think it's just Republican Party is going to back whoever's in that slot no matter what. And so they want the seat at whatever cost, whatever it takes. And so I hope everybody's educated in their vote tomorrow and enlightened and not bamboozled with just going along with the get along, because Herschel Walker is not it, in my opinion. He's just not it. Right. And you know what? Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, the caller was against what Warnock stood for, but I would have asked him, well, what about, Herschel Walker and all of the women that have come out to say that he paid for and asked them to have an abortion. So, I mean, so on one hand, one person is saying, hey, I believe that a woman should have a right to choose. And on the other hand, you've had someone that's blatantly out there saying, I'm totally 100% against abortion. But in your past, you've had several women that have said that you've exactly. So that to me, that's really hypocritical. So I don't know how you can hold your nose enough to say, I can vote for him when he's actually done those things that he's supposed to be so adamant against.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll know. So it's been a long election season. And we should have some answers. We should know, I just wonder if it's going to be, I wonder if we will know tomorrow, or if it will be a few days, a few weeks later. I just hope that it's not a long time coming. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What about Deion, you guys? Deion Sanders, prime time, leave JSU, going to Colorado. What do you guys think about that? I tell you, I think the public is split. You've got so many people saying he's a sellout. He just taking the bag and running. He used HBCU as a stepping stone. And it is half and half out there in that social media world. You hear so much. Good brother, you left us better than you found us. Go do your thing. And others are, I can't stand him. I wish him wrong. I hope he doesn't succeed. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? The boy signed a $29.5 million deal, 5-year deal, plus another $5 million for his staff. And so, I mean, when he first announced first, I was like, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Then I saw those numbers. He was making $300,000 at JSU a year to $5 million. I mean, what do you girlfriends think?
Woo! I know it's a tough. You know what? And in one way, it's a tough story. It's a tough thing. But in another way, it's an amazing story because he did something that no one else had done at the HBCU level. He brought a lot of attention. He filled the stadiums. He showed them the possibilities. To me, he showed them what leadership looks like. Now he's got as big of a road to carry because he's going to take a school that's at the bottom again, to the top. I heard today that his big goal is to be an NFL Super Bowl coach. That's his goal. So in order for him to do that, he's got to quantum leap several different places. And, you know, it's interesting. The song is started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. He's opened up a whole lot. Of course, is it me? Is my name Crisette? Is my name Crisette? Oh my goodness. Is that the music again?
It's you today, Gloria. It is you today. We're going to take this break and then we're coming right back to you. You're listening. We got issues with the force of friendship, and Gloria is going to the music every time. We'll be right back with her comment after this break. All right, we are back. We are back, and you're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. We are talking hot topics, and right before the break, we were talking about Deion Sanders. So go ahead, Gloria, finish your comments on Deion Sanders.
Well, the last thing is that the amount of money that Colorado paid him, they paid a lot of money to bring somebody into the program that could make a big statement. And what Deion has done is he's shined the light very large on what a difference a coach of his caliber can make, and we're so close to watching Kenny Monday do something of that caliber at an HBCU on that level. So to me, it's important for the whole world to see example after example over example about what leadership does, what a coach does, not just for the kids, because that's a big, big, huge, life-changing thing, but it's for the future, it's for the investment, it's for the endowment. It is for the possibilities to bring in somebody like that would request a whole new stadium, a whole new room, and then they give it to him. And when they give it to him, he gives them the results that they're looking for. And now he's chosen to go to a bigger school with bigger money, bigger endowment, with a bigger job, right? To do something, because they didn't expect it to happen at HBCU. What he's going to have to do at Colorado is a whole different kind of view. So I think it was brilliant, and it gives somebody else a chance to come in there and do the same thing. And it gives a lot of the other coaches at the HBCUs power to go back to their school and say, give me something to work with. We have an ability here, but you got to back me up on some of our abilities to get the things we need. So that's my thought. I don't care what they say on Twitter.
And I think that's very powerful. And then the other thing is, everybody has goals and things that they want to achieve in their life. And we know, when you look at corporate, how people, may start in the mailroom and they work their way up. And then, we've heard the stories from the mailroom to the boardroom. So you can't hold somebody back because they've made a decision for their life, because I'm sure, Deion Sanders would tell you, he's all about being the best, the GOAT, the confidence, all of those things. And so while, everybody was really excited that he took the HBCU job, but now this other opportunity, and who's going to, say that, he should not take that job, especially when, we don't know his end game. And this may have all been a part of his end game. So, definitely wish him the best. And I'm sure, as you said, Gloria, other doors have been open and will be open because Deion Sanders started it. And sometimes it just takes somebody to open the door to start something, for something to grow into something bigger and better. So we wish.
Wait a minute. What did Kenny Monday say?
Well, you know what? It's interesting because we go back and forth. This has been a hot topic in our household, sure. And at first I was a little salty, like, I can't believe he's leaving. But then I didn't understand the dollars. I didn't understand what kind of school he was going to. And then when Kenny broke the numbers down to me, I was like, oh. He said, Sabrina, if I was offered, what would your feelings be? He said, this man's got a family. He's got some choices. He's got a bigger
legacy
platform. He's done legacy. He's done a lot for Jackson State. He's leaving it better than he found it. And so, and I'm sure it was a hard decision, because I think one of his sons, will definitely go with him, and one might stay at Jackson State because he's already transferred once. I don't know if he can transfer again. So there's some things there. So it's all of those things. But yeah, Kenny broke that thing down, and it is what it is. And I just think, we're so critical. I'm reading all this stuff on social media. We're so emotional, and the amount of time that people are putting into this thing, it's like, go get your own bag. Go create your own legacy. Go do something that's going to make a difference for you and your family. They doing all this typing on social media. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, let the man go. Let the man go. Be great.
Sabrina, what about the doors? What do you think about the doors that he's opened up for other coaches? You know,
yeah,
it just seems like him being in that place. There's so many more Black coaches at Black schools and at white schools that now, and Latino coaches that will have an opportunity that they wouldn't have had before because he turned that program around so strongly.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I just think that we all have to exhale, count it all joy. I just keep going back to he left it better than when he found it. Period. End of discussion. He took his $300,000 salary, painted his own walls, cut the grass, paid some employees. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, he paid dues. Let the man go on and live his best life, and there will be others who will come behind him. That's what I'm thinking, y'all. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, they always say in the beginning of something, people don't understand. And then when it's created and it's bigger than life, everybody jumps on board. So you know what? Sometimes you just have to not listen to the naysayers and do what you need to do. We're going to go to our caller. We're coming to the end of the show. Grace, are you there? Okay, Grace isn't there. Okay, so I just think, you know, at the end of the day, you have to do what is best for you. You have to do what's best for you and best for your family. So I'm sure this is not the end of the discussion, that you'll hear a lot more in the coming days. And so as we get ready to close out, one last thing in the news, what do you guys think about former President Trump saying we need a termination of the Constitution so that we can overturn the 2020 election?
Fool. You sound like a fool. You is a fool. Okay? I mean, it should be unlawful for the past president of the United States to speak openly like a crazy person. I mean, but the thing is, he has a lot of followers who believe in it and will fight for that. I don't know, y'all. We living in some dangerous days.
Right.
I
know,
mean,
and it's bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But he knows how to grab. You know what I noticed? I said he knows how to grab the news. He'll go to whatever extent he can to grab the news. It's not going to be all about Georgia when Georgia don't love him. He's going to grab the news. It's not going to be all about this if they don't love him. He's going to grab the news. So honestly, I looked at that with such sadness, but he sure know how to grab the news. He go to whatever extent to grab the news.
And it's sad. It really is sad, you know, when he makes statements like that. He takes the oxygen up, and you know, it's news. It's our previous president, so of course that's going to make the news. But you guys, I don't know. You think he's going to run in 2024?
He said he was.
Okay. All right, it's going to be very
grabbing the news. If it means grabbing the news,
he's going to run, right? Oh, well, you guys, it's that time. I can't believe our hour is over. You've been listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. We will be back tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you on tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao. Happy Monday.